Alright, so someone asked me if I would actually list out what gear I'm actually using. So here we go. And to start with, we have the headset. Dream Air, Studio Form, Kit, Alpha, top strap. It's working really well. I'm only using Pimax Play. Disadvantages with it is damn expensive, as I said in my previous video. But there you go. It is what it is. Next, I'm going to talk about the sticks on the main rig. So this is my AB9 with a Whirlpool Alpha Prime metal on the top. Okay, the AB9 is fantastic. It is blooming enormous, and there are lots of good videos right out just now on the new AB6 versus the AB9. AB9 is significantly more expensive, and the biggest problem with it is sheerly the size. I've got a 3D printed mount at the bottom of it to make it fit in, and it still barely squeezes into the gap in the seat. The good news is the rotation point for the stick is quite well down, so that works quite well. So I've only got a 10 centimeter extension on it. What do I not like about the Alpha Prime is that stupid second trigger actually comes back and sits right where you're on top of your finger. It's kind of stupid. I don't know why they did it that way, and I find it annoying, but I'll live with it because honestly you don't actually use it for very much really. You can just leave it up and then use the other trigger all the time, which is what I do. Probably I wish I'd done the flanker, but the flanker wasn't supported by the AB9 at the time, and now everything's supported by the AB9, including the flanker, and as you can see it makes the LEDs all work as well. So overall I'm very happy with that, and I have 2 of them, so that pretty much says it all. And I buy all my gear. No one's giving me anything for free. I pay for everything, so there you go, not beholden to anyone. Next, Whirlpool F16. It's got the EX extension vibration thing on the top, but I don't use it, though I like having the extra buttons available when I do. It's the MFSSB, the force feedback base, kind of. It's kind of a force stick. It's not perfect, and you can find my video on my channel if you really want to know what I think about it. But why I still use it? Well, I still use it because it's pretty good. It works. Alright. It works quite well. So it gets a slot over on the main rig, because when I fly an F16, then I'm using the F15EX, which we're going to have a look at right now. So next we have the throttle. This is the Wing. I think it's actually the special edition one or something. That's why the knobs look a bit different on the left hand side. But anyway, they all kind of work the same. So the base is the same, doesn't really matter. Then it's an F15EX. With absolutely every button you could possibly need for any single module that you like. So as I don't have an F16 throttle over here, I do use that on the left throttle, the axis that goes up and down like an X16 radar antenna elevation. Works great. I use that for that. You know, the button next to that is great for the auto throttle or the afterburner on F100, and then you've got the up and down. It's a 4-way switch, weirdly. In other words, it's got everything. I mean, some people complain that it's too many switches. Well, muscle memory is fantastic. Just get used to it, right? And after a while, you just remember where everything is. So, yeah, I love it. I do have one on the other rig as well, as you'll see, but I don't actually use that because pretty much the other rig is nearly always F16, so I use the F16 throttle over there. But I use that main rig for 90% of the time, so that's the throttle I chose because it's got everything on it and I can do anything with it. It's fantastic. I love it. Alright, I have a takeoff panel mounted just above it. I don't use it for much, actually, to be fair, but we have the odd aircraft that has a gear handle off position, generally the Russian ones, right? Where if you don't turn it off, then the hydraulics run out of air. Only the Russians would do that. But anyway, so I basically use that gear handle for that, and that's about all it gets used for. So do I recommend it? No, not if you're in VR. It's kind of a waste of time, but occasionally it has a use. Specifically where there is a gear handle off position. That's pretty much all I use it for, but it sits there anyway because it doesn't take up any room. Alright, the final big pieces of kit that we're looking at. I've got this is a Whirlpool Collective. Alright, it's the cheaper one. I have the more expensive one, the throttle, but I never use the throttle, so the second time I didn't bother. It was a waste of time, because I don't fly anything old helicopter where you need to move the throttle at the same time as you're lifting up the objective. And then this one has the Apache thing on it. I like it. It's got loads of buttons on it, so you can do anything on it, you know. And normally if I'm flying helicopters, I'm over on this rig. So, the Apache one, is it a bit of a pain in VR? Yeah, sometimes, but actually, because it reflects what the real aircraft is, if you're not sure what a button is, you can look at it, what it is in the Apache. Because I don't fly helicopters very much, so my muscle memory on that is pretty bad. So I just look down and see where it is, and then I can go and find it. So that is quite helpful. Yes, and I found the parts to make the mount at Lowe's, so it's as simple as that. Alright, on the main rig I have an old jet seat. This is one of the original Andre ones. Obviously, you're not going to get those anymore. But as you'll see on the other rig, I have the HF8 Pro, and that works just as well. Now, you're probably going to laugh. Well, why the hell are the straps there? I didn't have the straps there for ages. But my mate came over, who flies flipping 777s, and he broke the back of the seat trying to get the rudder the brakes on the C-130 when he was doing a fly for us for an op. And it was a right mess. And it turns out, if you actually have the straps on your shoulders, the straps stop you breaking the back of the seat when you push on the rudders. So yes, I added the straps, so it won't happen again, because I was very upset. Next level race were pretty good. They did send me the parts, but it cost me $76. Anyway, that's why there's straps on there. Weird, I know, don't ask. So, moving on quickly to the other rig. HF8 Pro, sitting on that seat, and it works well. It now works normal jet seat. If you get the alpha version, it programs out great, and it works just like the jet seat. So if you need a jet seat, and I highly recommend them, I would go and get that one now. I'm gonna be fast now. So this next one, yeah, I've got a VKB with a Thrustmaster Warthog modified to go on a VKB base as the F-16 stick on the other rig. It works great, and yeah, that's nearly all I do over on that one anyway. And then next, yeah, so it's the F-16 throttle, as I mentioned. It's the wing throttle, and it works great for F-16s. If you're an F-16 pilot and that's all you want to fly, then go and get it. But if you're going to fly everything, then get the F-15EX one, because you can still do everything that this one does, plus a hell of a lot more. And it has two throttles. It's really nice to fly a two-engine aircraft with two throttles. This is the other Whirlpool Collective. This one's got the throttle on it. Waste of time. Don't bother unless you're going to fly some really old helicopter that needs it. Alright? Because it's like an extra $100. So it was a waste of time. Other than that, they work exactly the same. And this has got the Black Hawk stick top on it, which works great, but it's not as good as the other one, the Apache one, for flying Apaches, which is what I do most of the time. So that pretty much covers that. The last thing to move on to. Right, so in the far corner of the other rig, yes, there's another F-15EX throttle. This is the base one, so it's yeah, it works. I mean, obviously I've already said, right? And then that other stick is if I ever want to do backseat stuff. That is a center stick from Whirlpool on the original Mongoose, whatever they called it, base that they originally had out years and years and years ago. Still works, and that's one I use as a left-hand controller if I need two-hand controllers for, like, if I'm gonna. But I don't do much backseat, to be quite honest, so it doesn't get used very much. Now, finally, and this kind of says it all, that I didn't even take photos originally, as the rudders. Yeah, just get one decent set of rudders. You don't need to spend too much money. If they work, they work. I've got these, the Whirlpool ones over on my main rig, yeah, and they're rudder pedals and they work. And then on the other rig, I have the Wing Orion pilot pedals. Now, these also work. They're rudder pedals. Honestly, if you're barefoot, these aren't quite as comfortable, actually, as the Whirlpool ones, you know. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. Just put shoes on, all right? And they work great. I actually swapped out a set of MFGs for these because I thought I might do some racing, and I've got another racing thing. So if my son-in-law comes over, we can do some racing against each other on the two rigs. Anyway, so overall, that's it. Someone asked for this, hence I made it. I hope it was kind of helpful. Alright, feel free to ask any questions. I think I kind of covered exactly why I use what I use, you know. And obviously, you know, you got a question? Leave it in the comments. That's what happened. That's why you get this video. Alright, cheers. Bye.